What do you do when your 3-year-old wakes up at 4:30 in the morning? You make YouTube videos, duh. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a story about how I got addicted to meth and also how I overcame it. I'm also going to share some war stories, I guess they're called. I'm going to share some stories that I'm not proud of. I'm going to share moments where if you were on the outside looking in, you'd be like, this is her rock bottom. But unfortunately, that was not my rock bottom. And rock bottom for me came in a jail cell when I found out I was pregnant. That was my rock bottom. But I just want to say this before we get started. I'm not glorifying prison. I'm not glorifying that world. Also, this might trigger someone. So I'm just going to put a little disclaimer here. I am going to be talking about the graphics of using. And if that is a trigger for you, please click off of this video. I love you. I will see you in my next one. So if you are still here and riding with me, let's just go ahead and get started. So a lot of you have asked me, well, if you're from New York, how the heck did you end up in Arkansas? So I was on the run from New York from charges that have since gotten dropped. And I was in Vegas with the magazine crew, which I know I need to tell more stories about the magazine crew, and I totally will. So, but just for today's video, I was in Vegas and I decided to leave the magazine crew for 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned into like 7 years. But anyway, so I got a phone call one night from my runner, and I have mentioned in previous videos that he and I were really good friends. He called me and he sounded broken. He sounded lost. And at this point in my life, I had maybe 2 months sober from H, but I was like binge drinking like a fish. And in my deluded mind, I'm like, I'm so sober. Like I was blacked out drunk every night. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm killing it. I'm doing so good. I'm so strong. I can go help him. I truly believed that. And in that moment, my intentions were good. So I said, hey, I'll take some time off work. I will come down there to Arkansas and I will try to help you. And then the very next day, I get a phone call and he's telling me that he's the man and he has all these connects, we can make all this money. And I just thought, oh man, like he's so up and down. I don't even know if he realizes it, but I realized it at that time. So I took a bus from Vegas to Fort Smith, Arkansas. I got to the bus station in Fort Smith about 2 p.m. My friend was nowhere in sight. He didn't come pick me up. I was calling him and calling him and calling him and calling him and calling him for hours, 6 hours to be exact. And I made friends with a homeless guy and we were drinking Jack Daniels together and just kicking it at the bus station, and he was really cool. And I kind of forgot somehow in that moment that like, oh, I'm supposed to have someone come pick me up. But I'm like, well, he's not here, so what do you have in that happy flask, bro? Like, that was just me. So he finally shows up and picks me up, and I went to give him a hug, and I'm like, it's so good to see you. And he was like, I had never seen him look so angry before. And that should have been like a big red flag to me to like just maybe get back on another bus and like roll out. But I went to give him a hug and he's just like, you know, and I know like I'm not a big hugger, so maybe in my mind I'm like, maybe that threw him off because I don't ever hug anyone, like I don't know, right? But he's being really, really sketched out and he's really quiet. I could tell that he had just woken up. So to give a little backstory on me and my friend that I'm talking about, my old runner, we actually ended up homeless together, and we crashed at a friend's house, and he would sleep on the floor and I would sleep on the couch. And I knew that when he woke up, he wasn't a morning person. Now, for those of you in the comment section that are asking me if I had dated this man, no, I did not. We did not have a relationship like that. We were strictly friends. Moving on. So he picks me up and he drives me to this trailer. And now keep in mind, one phone call I got from him, he was really down and out. He just wanted to get sober. He was really lost. Then the very next day I got a phone call saying he's the man and he has all this money and whatever. So I didn't know what to expect. But he pulls up to this trailer and I thought, dang, this is a rough trailer, right? But I tried not to judge, and I walked in and I saw another friend, his brother was there, who was also a friend of mine from way back in the day. We were friends when we were like 13. And I was really taken back by this situation. So there was really no furniture. They had these like mats that you would find in a gym, and they had these mats all stacked up in the shape of a couch. So there was no couch. There wasn't really any chairs. It did have air conditioning, which I was like so grateful for because it was really, really hot in Arkansas, especially in 2012, or I'm sorry, 2011, where it was like 107 degrees every single day. And he dropped me off there and then he left. And I was just like in this trailer with people I hadn't seen in over a decade. His dad did know my mom decades ago. So now he's like talking to me about my mom, and I'm just like I'm really thrown off. A few days had passed and it was very clear that my friend, my old runner, was not going to get sober. He looked like a completely different person when he would use meth, and it was really scary to watch. And now keep in mind, I had not used at this moment, and I was just kind of an outsider looking in at this point. And I would watch his brother carpet surf. And what that means is he would like literally take a flashlight and look on the carpet for rocks. And that was just like, I wanted to help him, and I'm like, please stop doing that. Like, there's nothing there. And I'm completely sober, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I need to help. Someone needs to help him. Like, this is crazy, bro. Please get up. And he's just like, leave me alone. And I'm like, okay. Like, I can't help you, and it's very, very obvious that you're enjoying what you're doing, so I will just leave you to it. You're not hurting anyone, you're not hurting yourself, so go ahead. Now, I had formed a file facts of judgment in my mind, and remember, I told you, when you judge other people like that, life has a really funny way of bringing everything full circle, so remember that, okay? And then finally my runner would periodically show up, I mean, very randomly too, and he'd come in with some stolen stuff. And there was one night in particular where my runner's brother was carpet surfing. My runner had walked past me on the couch while I was on the phone with my friend, and I just died laughing. He's taking apart a computer, while at the same time another guy in this trailer is peeking out the window and he swears he sees cops. In that moment while I'm on the phone, I kind of laugh at them and I'm like, geez, they are all messed up, girl. And I sent a little video to her, and she was dying laughing too. She's like, you need to leave. And I thought, no, it's fine. Like, I needed to leave, but in my mind, I'm like, no, they're fine. They're not hurting anyone. It's okay. They're okay. No, they're not. They need a sandwich and a nap. But a few weeks had went by, and I kind of just gave up trying to get my old runner sober. It wasn't happening. And I only saw him for, I don't even know, probably an hour or two a week, you guys. He would just disappear for like days and days and days. He would rob houses and bring in all the stolen stuff, and it was like, and still in my mind, I'm like, he's not hurting anybody. Like, it's fine, right? That was my mind. And I would also judge them. If you stay around people that are using long enough and you're an addict, chances are you're gonna use. I mean, it was just there, right? So one day I just kind of just said, screw it, I'm gonna get high too. And I purchased some stuff. I went into the bathroom to use, and I used intravenously. I didn't know how to use. I didn't know how much water to add to anything. Like I said, I'd never done it before, but I was an H addict and I used H intravenously. So I remember mixing it up, and it was so thick I could barely put it in my arm, which I thought was the weirdest thing. I took it out of my arm and I went to stand up. Now I'm in the bathroom, so I'm on the toilet, like with the toilet seat down, you know, but I'm sitting on the toilet, and I went to get up, and my head, like, I had this huge rush to my head. My eyesight went completely blurry. My sound and my hearing went ding, like wah, 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 wah. Not ding, wah, wahs. And I was so lightheaded and dizzy that I fell down. And I'm like now I'm kind of panicked because I'm trying to clean up my stuff so no one knows that I'm using, because I'm the person that's trying to help people get clean so they can't know that I'm using. And I'm panicked. My heart is beating out of my chest. I start to have a panic attack. I'm hyperventilating. I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Terrified, freaking out. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And then this like calm moment of clarity comes over me. And I'm just like, take slow breaths. Take slow breaths. I calm myself down. And probably 1 minute had passed, but it had felt like an eternity. So I slowly get up. The wah-wahs stop. My eyesight is normal. And I'm just like, what do you guys think my next thought was? It should have been, never do that again. Are you crazy? You could have died. I was so sick that my next thought was, I can't wait to do that again. So I stayed in this trailer for probably 2 months, and I would start to hallucinate. I was trying to work my way up that ladder and to deal in Arkansas as well. Obviously, you guys know that I did get arrested for selling, for distributing and delivering and using all that. So I would go around people that only spoke Spanish. And I remember one night I was on the computer. It's probably 2 o'clock in the morning. I was on the computer in this really gross trailer, right? And I swear that I heard people speaking Spanish outside of the trailer, and I just kind of worked it up in my head, and I'm just like, I hear them, I know I hear them, I know I hear them. My mind was obsessing over it, and I'm just like, just get the balls to go look. Like, just go look. So I grabbed a weapon, and I went to walk outside. I guess I can say that because I have been convicted. I grabbed a gun, and I went outside, and I opened the door, and I looked around. There's no one outside. So I walked around to the back of the trailer, and it's pitch dark. There's no outside lights except for on the front of this trailer, which is the side of the trailer. So I walked around the other side. There's no lights, and I'm looking, and there's no one out there. It's just my mind telling me that there's someone out there. I'm hallucinating because of sleep deprivation as well as being high. So that was just a really scary moment. A couple of days had gone by, and the same scenario happened. I'm up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the computer. I'm on Facebook, and I'm just like typing away to someone, and I heard this crunch sound. So I was like, I look over, you guys. I knew it wasn't the dog. Let me back up. I knew it wasn't the dog. They had a Rottweiler named Kilo. He was amazing. I love that dog. Beautiful dog. But it was a big Rottweiler, and that was my baby while I was there, you guys. He would always be right next to me. But when I heard this crunch, like, it sounded like him eating dog food, but I knew he wasn't in the room. He's huge. You can't miss him, and it's a small trailer. I knew it wasn't him. So I just like slowly looked over. There was a possum in the trailer eating his dog food. And I'm just like, I'm a New Yorker, first of all. Let me like start with that. I don't know what to do. I'm not from the South. I don't know how to take care of a freaking possum. And I guarantee you half the people in the South don't know either, but you know, they're mean, right? So I'm just like I'm terrified, I'm frozen, and I slowly get up. Like, so here's me, right? And here's the possum. I'm on the edge, like I'm by the window, and the possum is also by the front door. So there's some distance from us, but I'm just like, oh my God, trailers are small. He was probably 10 feet away from me. I slowly get up and I walk to the back door, and I just left. Like, I'm not going to fight a possum. I just left, and I'm laughing because it's like, how did I not think that this was concerning, right? I mean, I was concerned, but I'm like, someone else will come home and deal with it. And I just walked around for hours. I walked around, I talked on the phone, I smoked cigarettes, like, totally fine. It'll go away. Someone else will deal with it. And that's kind of the approach to everything that I had in my life. If something was even a little bit, what's the word? Inconvenient for me, I would just leave. And I'm smiling because it's like, it's a freaking possum. Like, I can't believe I left the possum there, but I did because I don't know how to handle it. I don't want to like kill it, like whatever. So another time, this was at the end of me staying at this trailer. My runner had came in, hadn't seen him for days, maybe even a week or two. He came in and he was so mad. He was so mad that I was there. He didn't want me there. I had told in a previous story, I'll put it on the card up here, getting robbed, that he had set me up to get robbed. This never came out until years later. So I don't know if he knew that I knew that, or I don't know if he thought that I knew or whatever, but there was just this tension between us, and he just didn't want me there, straight up didn't want me there. He also was really mad that I came to his city and I was working with people that he had tried to work with, and that really made him mad. He knew that I was in contact with his dealer, and then and that made him mad. He broke my phone and smashed against the wall, and he found that out. And then he found out I was in contact with my dealer's dealer, who he was trying to meet. And he was just so mad. So he came in, he was so mad. There was all this like anger and tension. He picked up a samurai sword, and we're in this room because I was just in this room trying to sleep. He picks up this samurai sword, and there was shelving on the wall, and he starts smashing the shelves. Things are smashing all around me, and I just stood there so still looking at him like, are you done? I don't want to tell him that I'm scared that he has a freaking samurai sword and he's out of his mind. Like, so I'm just like, are you done? And he starts smashing everything, and he's so mad. So I left because I didn't really know what else to do. And if like I said, if there was a situation where I was inconvenienced or whatever, I would just leave. So I left. I was also like, you know, kind of messed up. I had speedballed and I was messed up. And I remember walking, there's this little gas station by this little trailer park in Fort Smith on Albert and Pike, right? I think so. Really, it's on Midland. Midland and Albert Pike, I believe, are the crossroads. So if you're from Fort Smith, you're gonna know it's really, really bad over there, really dangerous over there. It's really sketch, right? So I went to walk to this little gas station and I'm upset that he just smashed everything in this room. I mean, it doesn't belong to me, but still, like, it was so dramatic. And I just thought, like, God, you've got to get out of this situation. You've got to leave, you know? I just didn't know how to leave. I had some money saved up, but he kept stealing money from me. And, you know, it is what it is. So I remember calling some friends and saying, I need a bus ticket, I need help. You guys, I had 2 people buy me bus tickets and I never got on the bus because my addiction controlled my life. And I might be upset tonight, but I might feel better tomorrow morning. I had 2 people try to save me from Arkansas and I did not get on that bus. I then bought myself a 3rd ticket the night I got arrested for delivery and possession and a gun. I bought myself a ticket that night. So there were 3 bus tickets bought trying to get me out of Arkansas. Never once did I get on that bus. And that's kind of how addiction is, right? So, you guys know the story. I got arrested and I found out I was pregnant, and there's a lot I'm leaving out. There's some meat and potatoes in there that I will tell, but for now, I went to jail and got clean. You guys know that story. When I got out of jail is when I tried to help my runner, and again, I will leave the getting robbed story on the card up here. I put all that behind us, you know? I put all that behind us. I let so many things go over and over and over again because he's my friend and I want to help him. And finally, I just said enough is enough, right? So I think now looking back, I'm not sorry any of those things happened. I'm really grateful that I have those experiences, but that was just the worst time in my life. Being in Arkansas was the hardest time in my life. I remember having to steal food, and I never in my life had to steal food before, but I continuously got money stolen from me while I was staying at that trailer, and I did eventually move out and move in with my boyfriend. But it was really tough, you know? I had to steal Pop-Tarts, you guys. I mean, that was just like the lowest of the low, but I was starving. There would be days where I'd be really, really hungry, but just get high because I didn't want to feel the pain of hunger. I mean, my life had just gotten so out of control, so I am so grateful for my sobriety. And now looking back, I'm so proud of all the things that I overcame. So if you are struggling in addiction and you want to get out, please message me. We will figure it out. There's so many amazing resources. I will find you a meeting in your city and we will work through it. I love you guys so much, and I don't want you to think if you are in active addiction that you are stuck there forever, because you are absolutely not. I am living proof of that, and so many other people here on YouTube are also living proof that no matter what you do, no matter what mistake you make, no mistake is too great to not recover and bounce back. Addiction does not have to end in death. It is curable. I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay sober, stay out of the streets, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.